A terrible consequence of the Great Recession we've all lived through is the tremendous rise in home foreclosure. Those caught in the vice grip of this problem can feel overwhelmed, ashamed, and downright lost. But critically, there is help out there, and lots of it. Tonight, 2 stories of those who found the help that let them save their home. Keith Cleary has lived in his home for 12 years, but he almost didn't make it. In 2009, he lost his job as a mechanic.
When I lost my job, it took all of 15 weeks before there was no money. And unemployment was nothing compared to what I was making. By the end of 9 weeks, I knew we were going to be in trouble. And we started trying to figure out what we were going to do.
He called the mortgage company, but was told they would not change his required payments.
I wasn't getting enough in to make a full payment anymore, so payments started falling behind. By about 8 months, I was close to 2 payments behind. When I fell 3 payments behind, I called and I wanted to resolve it. I wanted to figure out what we could do. I thought for sure they want to help me. Help was basically dividing the 3 payments into my regular payments and spreading that over an 8-month period. So it was kind of like a stranglehold. And I did that till the unemployment ran out.
It didn't take long from there.
I got my notice for foreclosure. In that notice, I read things that come in, so I'm reading it and seeing I had 20 days to get a response to the court or they would proceed. It's as close to feeling like you have no way out, being trapped in a box, as you can get.
But Keith Cleary didn't stop looking for help, and he found it in the Neighborhood Christian Legal Clinic and HUD-certified free service to help people try to avoid foreclosure.
They assigned me to a lawyer to help me. He helped me do my paperwork. He helped present everything. Basically, he became my go-between. He started talking to the mortgage company for me. We were making sure everything was done correctly through the process that needed to happen to save my home.
The key was getting the mortgage company to listen. The legal clinic knew a way to do that.
Well, in the state of Indiana, borrowers are entitled to a court-ordered settlement conference if they request it from the court within 30 days. That gives them an opportunity to meet with their lender to determine if there are any options for them to avoid foreclosure.
The end result is we got our hearing. A lawyer from the legal services, Chase, he sat down and represented me. They actually recalculated and worked on a program for me while we were on hold. So the end result was I was able to actually save my house and restructure my loan.
The thing that struck me, I think, about the Clearys is they were a prime example of a family that just would not give up. I admire them greatly for their hard work and their determination to stay in their home.
It's a fight that so many are still struggling with.
The biggest advice that I would give to them, one, stop, take a second, pray, and regroup yourself. Because when we're all wound up in emotion, we don't think clear. The second one is start looking for help.
And that's exactly what Andrea Longstreet did. Longstreet and her son Wrigley have been in their home since 2004. But when Andrea lost her job in 2009, she could see, even with unemployment benefits, there wouldn't be enough money for the mortgage.
Like a lot of Americans, I didn't have that security blanket of 6 months of expenses that they tell you to have. I didn't live paycheck to paycheck, but it was pretty close. I reached out to my mortgage company and they said, oh yeah, we're going to work with you. And so everything's going great. I'm following along and doing what they tell me to do, and little did I know that during this entire time they were working against me. They were actually filing paperwork with the courts and protecting their rights to take my home. Unfortunately, I missed that 3rd payment, and immediately I got notified that they were going to foreclose. The next thing I found out was, I'm getting notice of a sheriff's sale. It was going to be the week after Christmas, and I didn't know what was going to happen. And at that point, I called the Neighborhood Christian Legal Clinic for help.
Neighborhood Christian Legal Clinic.
Reaching out for help was perhaps the most important move Andrea made, but it was almost too late.
I got in touch with them again just in the nick of time. I think if I had even been a week later getting in touch with them, my house would have been sold. They walked me through the entire process. I was able to get everything I needed taken care of and turned in, and they stopped everything. Through the Hardest Hits Fund, they were able to make a repayment to my mortgage company to catch up what I owed on my mortgage. How high up can you get?
Soon after, Andrea found a new job and has even been promoted. But she's got advice for those still in the fight for their home.
Don't wait to file for unemployment, number one. And number two, don't wait to talk to the Neighborhood Christian Legal Clinic until you're behind in your mortgage. Talk to them as soon as you know that it's not going to be covered.
For people like Andrea and the Cleary family, the Neighborhood Christian Legal Clinic has become a trusted resource when it seems as if there is nowhere left to turn. The mission of the clinic is to help people save their home. The clinic provides a range of services to help people and raise awareness of the resources that are available to them. The clinic even created a PBS television program to help people realize that there is help available.
Certainly the foreclosure issue is one with many arms, many wings, many questions surrounding that issue. And tonight we have with us a terrific panel to help sort through some of those issues. As you look in central Indiana and around the state, foreclosure has been a huge issue around the country and in Indiana, unfortunately, for a number of years. Is it getting any better? What do you see?
Well, Indiana obviously wasn't spared in the foreclosure crisis, and it's still a very serious problem today. What we hope for is a decrease in the number of foreclosures being filed, but what we expect is a very gradual decrease. And that still doesn't account for the number of borrowers right now who are still going through the foreclosure process. Right. One of the problems that they're having is that they don't know what to do, they don't know where to turn, and they don't know what their options are.
Yeah. Roger, what are you seeing in terms of the volume or the flow of people coming in the foreclosure situation?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I would have really thought that the numbers would have waned by now, but they're not. Central Indiana has just been devastated. And so the numbers are actually in some ways going up, and we get between 40 and 50 new families calling every single week in the Central Indiana region looking for assistance from this problem. So it's nothing that's just going away quickly.
Neighborhood Christian Legal Clinic Executive Director Josh Abel was interviewed as part of the program.
Josh, we're talking about an issue that has been a big issue, a critical issue around the country, and in particular here in central Indiana for some time. Your message, if you will, as we enter or begin to end 2012, to those people out there who may have lost their homes or feel as though they're in danger of losing their homes, your message to them.
The foreclosure crisis has rocked Indiana for several years, and we are by no means out of the woods yet. And so lots of people are in trouble financially and falling behind on their mortgage. And so we just want to encourage folks that if you are in trouble, there are resources out there for help. They do not have to pay for those resources, and we would encourage folks to contact us so that we can help them.
The Neighborhood Christian Legal Clinic has been around since 1994, as you say, providing free services. You're a United Way agency, but do a lot more than this very important home foreclosure issue. You handle a lot of issues.
We do. We want to be lawyers for people who have nowhere else to turn for legal needs. So whether it's a domestic violence victim who has a family law problem, a refugee or an asylum seeker who needs immigration help, a taxpayer who needs help with dealing with the IRS, or someone who needs a consumer bankruptcy attorney or to deal with a landlord-tenant problem. We want to help folks who can't afford an attorney, and so we're there to come alongside them.
And very quickly, you have attorneys on staff, but access and connections to a large group of attorneys.
Right. We have 13 staff attorneys and about 200 volunteer attorneys that take cases from us every year.
All right, Josh Abel, thank you for being here, and thanks for what you do in the community as well.
Thank you, Gary.
All right.
Getting the word out and helping families manage threats to home ownership, the Neighborhood Christian Legal Clinic is dedicated to helping people save their home.
Save your home.
Save your home.
Save your home.